Hello and welcome to the Advent of Automation, your personal 20-day guide to streamlining your BI workflow. This is day 12 of our learning journey, and today we are going to condition ourselves to use more conditions in Power Automate. Control conditions allow us to process data differently based on specific criteria. This gives us even greater control over flow execution, as actions will only be triggered when necessary. Essentially, conditions are the if statements with and or operators that we can use to create branching in Power Automate. With that said, let's dive in. Hello and welcome to BI-Lingual Analytics. My name is Roland and I'm here to guide you through the world of data, analytics and automation. If this is your first time around here, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons so you won't miss any of my tutorials. It means a lot to me and helps others to find content like this. The best way to explain how control conditions can streamline our BI workflows is through 3 examples. Those are the ones that I rely on heavily whenever I'm tasked to create automations. They might not be deal breakers, but my automations wouldn't be as effective without them. So let's head over to Power Automate and start automating. First of all, let's cover the ETL automation we worked on previously. Currently, with this scheduled cloud flow, we refresh a Power BI Dataflow, wait for the Dataflow refresh to complete, and then refresh a Power BI dataset or semantic model. Afterward, we send out a Teams notification to let everyone know that the data is up to date. But where do we handle refresh failures? A Dataflow refresh that fails is still considered a completed refresh. This means we need a way to handle ETL failures gracefully. That's where a control condition can make a huge difference. Let me add the control step before the Power BI dataset refresh. Think of this condition as an if statement, as the automatically added next step suggests. We can use the refresh status dynamic content, set the operation to is equal to, and for the outcome, type in success. On the left or if yes side, we can trigger the dataset refresh with Teams communication. However, on the right or if no side, we can create a separate flow. For example, rather than trying to refresh a dataset that would probably fail, we can simply send a notification to the BI team that the DataFlow refresh failed. Alternatively, we could implement a more sophisticated error handling by adding a delay action and retrying the DataFlow refresh. If the refresh succeeds this time, we can copy the if yes actions from the first step. If not, we notify the BI team. This flow allows us to address issues within the automation without immediately requiring human intervention. It also ensures that end users are only notified when the data is actually up to date. By adding multiple options into a condition, we can fine-tune automation to work in our favor. For instance, here I run 2 queries against the dataset to identify sales for last week and inventory value at the end of the week. I then calculate weeks of cover using a variable and add the condition with 2 parameters. If this weeks of cover value is less than or equal to 3 or greater than or equal to 6, we notify the warehouse team to check inventory levels. Otherwise, we terminate the flow as it's business as usual. In this example, I used an or condition. You could switch this to an and to align the condition with specific business logic. We can also add multiple conditions or condition groups. For example, let's say we want to notify the inventory team if the weeks of cover is less than 3 or greater than 6, and the inventory value is below 1 million or above 5 million. For the third example, let's automate an internal BI team process. Let's say the BI team has a shared email account for questions, feedback, and other communications. If an email contains potentially negative feedback, we want to route it to the BI team lead. Otherwise, the email remains in the shared inbox. To do this, we use the new email trigger followed by an AI Builder action to analyze the email text. We add the condition that routes the email based on the probability of the text being negative. This automation helps us work smarter, not harder. One of the key outcomes of automation. There are many ways to use control conditions in Power Automate. You can include one condition or as many as needed to meet business requirements. Adding dynamic content to conditions makes them highly flexible for automation. The main benefit of conditions is also their biggest challenge. They add complexity to your flows. This makes automation harder to manage and troubleshoot. Overusing conditions can also impact performance, especially when multiple sets are involved. I recommend double-checking your conditions to ensure they are accurate. We don't want to create more problems with incorrect automation, right? In the coming days, we will discuss documenting flows with AI. I highly recommend detailed documentation for control conditions. That's everything I plan to show you in this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this series, and by the end of December, or whenever you complete the learning, you will have some great automation ideas to enhance your BI workflow. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below, and I do my best to answer them quickly. Thanks for staying till the end. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, check out these tutorials to take your data, analytics, and automation journey to the next level. Until the next one, see ya!